Good morning, you bad, beautiful bitches. You welcome to the No Limits podcast. Okay, today we are blessed with actual royalty. Okay, BMO the Prince joins us, actor, writer, comedian, DJ. Sit back, prepare to be dazzled, hugs and kisses. Love ya.
BMO the Prince.
It is I.
This is if you could be a prince of any country, what would it be? Do you think?
Of any country? Prince? Here.
There we
We
go.
don't have royalty.
There
I would like to be the royalty here.
I would vote. You
Why
have
not?
my vote.
You don't vote for princes, do you?
I don't. You know what's funny? I barely know what goes on in the U.S. Never mind how royalty works
That's fair.
outside. I
So-
think you're right. You're born into it.
So, would I have to take over something?
You've seen Braveheart.
Yeah.
We could start a war. We could take over.
I mean, we're almost there anyway.
I
We'll
don't.
figure it out.
You know what? The royalty family in the U.S. is probably like the Kardashians. That's probably like the extent of.
Oh, well, I don't need that curse.
Yeah.
I've seen enough brothers go down that path.
Dude, I think that curse is real.
It's very real.
I was kind of like not understanding the curse, and then I was going through the roster of dudes that have entered the Kardashian world, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
It's no.
What do you think about Pete
Pass.
Davidson? You think he'll have the same curse? It seems like he's
No,
still up.
no,
It seems
I-
like he's untouchable.
I think his kickstand negates
Yeah.
the curse. I don't know how he's living his life, but
It took me a second to realize when BMO says kickstand, he's talking about his penis.
Yes.
Okay.
It's directly his penis.
Yeah.
That when his
That's
legs
a new record. That's 2 minutes in. That is the longest we waited to mention the penis. That was perfect. Thank you for the new record.
Hey, I'm just here to set records and change lives.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, what's going on in your world, man? What's up?
You know, chilling, vibing, new year, same me.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. I like it.
Trying to make the funnies and make the monies.
How'd you-
Oh, that's going in the bio.
Wow.
Trying to make the funnies and make the monies.
That is.
Oh.
Did you just come up with that on the spot?
On the spot.
Red hot.
Wow.
Where did BMO the Prince
Wow.
come from? Where did the name come from?
Okay, so in high school, I was a clown. Surprise. So all through high school, I used to do stuff like goofing off, and people would always be like, "You remind me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air." And I was like,
okay.
"Nah." And then there was one day, me and my buddies went out to like Domino's or something.
Yep.
And you know that song that's like, I know. I started doing something stupid, and I was just like, I know. And like joking to it. We literally went back to my buddy's house with our pizzas, sat down, and the Fresh Prince was on, and literally the same thing happened.
Oh
he did
my God.
exactly that.
Yep.
To the same song, and then I was like, okay, I digress.
Like,
you guys are right.
so-
You got that.
And then that was you from there on out.
And so that was always like kind of the thing. Like my yearbook, people signed it like, "Oh, good luck with life, Fresh Prince." Bop bop bop. And
Squeeze your nose at the time your clown nose. Everyone thinks you're like, yeah, I totally get that. They're like, this guy.
right,
Yeah.
And then also was Prom Prince.
Oh, let's go.
So
Let's go.
very much on brand.
I just want to apologize. I didn't start this podcast off by bowing to you. Royalties in the room.
It's fine. You can kiss the ring after.
Thank you. I just didn't want to be
you know what I mean?
executed, So
It is.
yeah.
My guys are outside.
Yeah, I could hear the chain link
They're
armor.
chill.
I was
They're
like,
pretty chill.
wow, this is crazy.
In the back of this whole podcast, you just hear clink, tink, 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 tink.
Sharpening swords.
Sorry, that's just my night. That is just my night.
You imagine seeing that Uber XL pull up? You, red robe, bunch of knights.
But it would be
Wow.
it would be a horse. It would be a big black stallion that we're just all riding on. Your Uber's here.
Wow. They have equestrian Ubers? Now this is crazy. Really extending the product line. I knew about the
It's lovely.
helicopters, but equestrians.
It's the whole thing. We
wow.
do what we can. We got to be different. That's the
I
game.
like it. So you were always the funny guy in school, basically. You were always like, did you get into media? Were you doing like, we had like media production back in the day. Like I used to do like the weather in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'd swing around and be like,
The weather guy, and you just made it up on the spot.
on the spot. Oh my God.
Lovely.
I could barely spell Wednesday.
Oh my God!
It's like,
It actually all now comes together.
isn't a little.
Oh,
I've
I'm having revelations on this podcast. Did you see it?
I
just
saw your
happen?
eyes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now I get
Weather
it.
check. Yeah, exactly. I didn't scurry far.
Also,
you know?
can I curse?
We just said penis in the first 2 minutes.
Solid point. I
You know,
digress.
please drop them.
So that's so funny. That all just connected to me.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Big weather
I want
guy.
that footage.
Yeah, we have been trying to get it. I've been
to see
trying to
that
get it
footage.
so long now. Yeah.
Oh, we need it.
Wyndham High School released the footage, right? Jesus.
It's probably at Mar-a-Lago somewhere.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Oh,
Way to
man.
turn something just so innocent into just like my squeaky high pitched voice as a kid.
It's amazing that everyone has classified documents, but we can't find your weatherman tape.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
What high school was it?
Wyndham High.
Apparently they have better security than our entire nation.
Fun fact there. You know, Wyndham High is just Fort Knox, basically, you know? They are, wow. Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. I'm giggling. Whew, I'm hot. I got hot.
Doesn't it get hot in here?
Yeah.
I didn't know if this is part podcast, part sauna. You know, it's good
about
for
that.
it's good for your body.
Maybe lose a pound or two. Then.
There we go.
Here for that.
We had to step on a scale before this. We'll step on a scale after this. We'll see how we did.
I like it. Save those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. You know, those are the numbers we care about. You know?
Hell yeah.
Podcast numbers.
The No Limits workout program. Weight loss program.
Coming to a living room near you. All right.
Also, I expected some sort of reference to Master P because of like the No Limit Soldiers or whatever.
Ooh.
So that's a way we gotta incorporate that at some point.
Wow. See, that I like. Yeah. Yeah, we were going a little more lowbrow, no limits, because you could basically mention penis in the first 2 minutes. That was,
Bang.
you know, so there's no limits, you know. This is where my
Oh,
mother
you're
will
right.
listen to this. I'm like, Jesus, this kid sucks. Okay, this guy's the worst
At
ever.
what point did you like start being able to like crack jokes that you knew were inappropriate for family around family? Like, what point is that?
That is, you know what's funny? In my household, we were the stricter family in the community.
Yeah.
Like there was no we were like the first ones to have like curfews, but
Oh.
if you broke any rules or whatever, like it wasn't crazy rules, but if you got in trouble, like I got hundreds of after school detentions and just for being like class clown stuff.
Attaboy.
But if you could make my mom laugh, you were instantly out of trouble.
Oh,
like
done and done.
Like drinking on her underage, you were busted at a party, you know.
Hell yeah.
If you could make her laugh, you were
done.
So that's where like I first got the like somewhat of like a humorous bug. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is in exchange for laughter, you then get out of any
Yeah.
given situation. I was like, interesting. This could be useful in life, you know?
Hell yeah.
So
And here we are.
here we are.
Look at us
the
now.
No Limits
Look
podcast
at us now, Ma.
with BMO the Prince, you know? Wow. Walk me through you are Prince of your prom.
Yeah.
You are class clown.
Yep.
When did you know like, ooh, I gotta get into media? And then when did you know, okay, this could be a route that I could go career-wise?
So my school was tiny. We had, like my graduating class was the biggest in years of 60 people.
60.
60 people marched across that
I can
stage.
almost count to that in Spanish. That's how small that is. That is.
It
Wow.
was not a lot.
Vente uno is 21, I believe. I could probably work my way to
Yeah.
60. I'm sure I could dig it up.
It was not a lot. So we didn't have a whole like setup or whatever. But I did have like my art teacher and my music teacher were always like, hey, you should host this event we're having. I was like, I don't want to. And they're like, no, you're funny, do it.
There's going to be 6 people there. You're going to love it.
All 12 of us will enjoy it. And so I like did stuff like that in high school, but it was never like tons of stuff. And it wasn't until I got to college and started doing TV and whatever, because when I went, I was like, I'm too dumb to do like smart people jobs.
Right.
Where can I be goofy?
Right.
Is this not a clown college? What are we doing?
Right. Where can I?
So like there I started to fall into media and I was trying to do sports,
Okay, here we go.
but then I was like, you know what? This is basically mostly reporting.
Oh, you're doing sports media.
Yeah, like sports
Okay,
broadcasting.
yes, gotcha.
So I was like, I don't want to like research stats all day. Like,
yeah.
I want to goof off.
Right. Yes. Yep.
So then like I fell ass backwards into radio
Yep.
in here. I was working at BMC in accounts payable, which I had no business working there. I'm bad at math.
They were in a bad place.
Well, I quit right before tax season, so
Oh, smart. What a parachute. Hundreds, if not thousands of people are screwed. Well, who did this? Who was doing the numbers
why
here?
are all our books off on everything?
Yeah. This numbers literally says a T. It's a capital T. It's not even a number. That is ridiculous. This place is a joke.
And so I quit there, was doing radio in like Brockton in this like tiny studio.
Yep.
They paid me like $9 an hour, and then I gave it back to buy airtime.
Oh, really?
And then like slowly started building up into Boston radio, stuff like that. And that's where I was like, oh, now we can play.
You would buy airtime for your own show?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I would take my paycheck and then hand it back.
This is loosely the plot of 8 Mile, you know?
The palms were sweaty.
Yeah. Did your mom cook spaghetti for chance? I don't know.
No, not usually. But mac and cheese, tons of it. Tons of it.
There's a rhyme there. Yeah, mac and cheese.
And it wasn't
spilled
usually
on my knees.
It,
There's something there.
I was gonna say I didn't wear like hoodies. I wore like Henleys, so it was on my.
Yeah, there it is.
But you know, same.
Okay. Wow. We got to record I think we got to drop an album, you know, you and I.
I'm just saying opportunities. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'll have my knights write that one down. I'll make sure they note it.
Crank, just ink and feather. You're like the squawk of an eagle come in to deliver the note.
Can't bend my elbow enough, sir, to write this.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and then I was working in Boston.
Yep.
And COVID happened and the station shut down.
Did they go out of business or just
They flipped to Big 103, whatever it was. Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was that your radio voice?
No. This was my radio voice.
Okay.
But if I needed to, Big 103. That's pretty solid, right?
That is.
We were what was it? New hit music, way fewer commercials, 103.3 amp radio. It's BMO, the Prince back in the palace. That was it. Here's Justin Bieber.
I like that.
That was it. It was a
like
vibe.
that.
The station was great. There were tons of good people there, talented people. This dude was there.
Yep.
He's one of the talented people.
Hurley's
I'm
the best,
Not
isn't he?
adding him separately. He is one of those people.
Right.
But then when they flipped, I was like, all right, I need a job.
Yeah.
And
so this is what, 20, this is like
March.
season 1 of COVID.
20. Yeah.
Tiger King's red hot. Everyone's scurrying for toilet paper. BMO just lost a job. Just in the timeline here.
It was, And like my wife's teaching at home.
Yep.
And I'm like, I remember when they called me, they called at 8 a.m. and they were like, the station's flipping at 10. And I was like, okay. Thinking like, oh, now I got to get used to a new format. And they were like, we appreciate everything. And I was like, whoa.
One of those calls.
So 2 hours from now, like the place I work is just gone.
Right.
So then I walked into the living room while she's teaching and I was like, hey, don't have a job.
You just joined her virtual classroom. Pull up a chair.
I kind of did for a few months. It got to the point where one kid told a joke and I laughed so loud from the kitchen at the joke that every day that kid showed up with a new joke.
Let's go.
She was like, where's your husband? I have to tell him a new joke. And I was like, word.
You
This is my
probably
kid.
sparked the 10 years from now, the new Adam Sandler, you know?
Right?
He'll jump on a podcast
Right?
and be like, I don't know who this guy was, but this guy laughed.
he enjoyed my jokes. And it just sparked the whole thing.
Wow.
But then I started doing TikTok stuff. The first video was me and her doing like a millennial dance thing.
I remember seeing that.
And
yes.
I got roasted in the
Really?
comments because she's a professional dancer.
I was going to ask.
And a
did she
hip hop
have
dancer at that.
Oh.
And so I was fine.
Steroids. Check her for steroids.
I was doing fine, but all the comments were like, oh, homegirl, Slade. The dude could be better. And I was like, wow. Okay.
Wow, all right.
Well,
this app sucks, actually.
well,
you know what?
Not dancing again, that's for sure.
Yeah, this isn't. I remember. Was that the one you guys were outside? Am I thinking of the right video?
Yeah.
Yes.
We were at my mom's house.
Okay. Yes.
We were in the field at my mom's house, and the neighbors were watching us from like their window, like, well, Brian's up being goofy again.
I thought it was great. I thought you crushed.
But after that, then I was like, I need to do something else because I'm not dancing for you fools anymore.
And at that time too, I remember like TikTok at that point was mostly dance videos, at least on my feed.
Oh God, yeah.
I was like, okay, this is like Musical.ly is now TikTok, so it must be like a Jabberwocky's 3.0, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I got rid of my jab walk. You better have squares.
And it was perfect because like millennials just started getting on it, and I did it was a millennial mix,
Right.
like our dance trend thing or whatever, and so that like took off, and then everybody jumped on it. But then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do some funnies. Yeah, I just did like a year of improv classes, so I was like, I'm gonna write sketches, and you're gonna get sketches. And the first one was based off of Gen Z making fun of me.
Oh, the inspiration for that come from the comment section of your dancing video?
Oh God, yeah.
It was like,
one of them was like, oh, listen, you old dude, why don't you get off TikTok and go pay your taxes? I was like, I did that 2 months ago.
Right.
Maybe figure out when you pay your taxes. Got my refund, buddy. I'm living large.
Idiot. Right? Jeez.
It was bad for a minute. So then I just like rode that wave, and here we are.
Wow. I love that. What is your writing process like? Like you really fascinate me because you do. I am not a reader or a writer. Like bad at both. Okay. Like did Hooked on Phonics, never got hooked. You know what I mean? Like that's where
didn't work for me.
I was like,
ironically,
not working. But I do, like, you put up stories I've seen in the past, even just from just chopping it up with you. Like when people sit down and write, I always think that's a skill set. I wish most of my stuff is like in the moment. I think of it right now where we have to film it right now or it's gone forever.
Yeah.
What is do you have like a routine or like some sort of like do you force yourself to write when you're not even in the mood, or like are you always writing? Like what does that routine look like?
So I'll put it to you like this. When things started to like pop off, excuse me. When things started to like pop off, as I'm sure you understand, I saw opportunity there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so like I can be a guy that just does TikTok sketches every day for the rest of my life, or I can try to turn this into a thing.
Right.
So I talked to my sister's friend who was an agent for acting, whatever. And so I got into acting classes. And then I kept posting stuff. And then I had Leslie Jones hit me up to be like, dude, you're funny. Hey, and actually, so the funny part of that, I don't know if I've like publicly told this. The way I found out that she had messaged me is I didn't know you had requests. And so one day I discovered it, and she had maybe messaged me on a Thursday, and I saw it on like Tuesday of next week.
You're like, shit.
And it was like, motherfucker, you getting my messages? You funny as fuck. And then I was like, that's not Leslie Jones.
Surely that's a deep fake, I believe is what the kids are calling it.
That's weird. So then like she hit me up, then a producer hit me up to ask if I had been writing and whatever. And then Cedric the Entertainer also was like, hey dude, like your stuff is smart and funny. Do you have any show ideas? And I was like,
you're like Miles Finch and Elf. Like you pull out the book.
Yeah.
Like, actually,
well, here we are. So I got a writing coach and put some of those ideas to move them from just like sketches for the internet to be real screenwriting and like the actual active screenwriting. Got all the like the programs and everything. And like,
because I'm always seeing I see these scripts pop through like my inbox every now and then, just from like the Dulcetto side. And then I always feel unbelievably dumb when I type up a concept and it's like a screenshot from my notes. Because whatever that software is, it's like center of the page, and then the font is very interesting. It's very like typewriter,
like very, very typewriter.
Yeah, I'm like, how do they get that font? Is that not? It's not Times New Roman. I've checked that.
Certainly not that.
Where is it? Okay.
But it is like, and that's one thing I had to learn was like the specific formatting for it, like formatting for an action, formatting for a scene setting, formatting for like time of day, this, that, cut to, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And how to keep moving it forward, how to build a scene. And this isn't a knock on anyone who does the same thing that I do. Yeah. Because I think I've discovered a ton of people that do a similar thing as me, and they're great, amazing. But one thing that matters to me is trying my best to make it a full circle story within 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So like introduce a thing, we go back and forth, and then there's some sort of like win, loss, end somewhere. Right. So it's like complete. Yep. And I think that's sort of what has worked for me. But the writing process is literally like the last 3 years has given so much.
Yeah.
To just be like, when news happens, it's easy.
Yeah.
Like when the Queen died, I was like, whoa.
Like, oh,
Actually,
we're booked solid.
fun story. So I got the news that the Queen was like they had medical people going to check the Queen. I was like, everyone's gonna wait.
You start dipping the ink in.
So I literally wrote one, and it was like, why we got to protect the Queen? Blah 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 blah. God save the Queen. Yada yada yada. And I wrote it all, shot it, edited it, and was literally like downloading it into my like videos things, ready to post. And I was like, I got to get it out there quick. And my mom texted me and goes, the Queen has passed. And I was like, fuck!
You have it like an Etcher sketch. You're like, well, it's fine. We'll get rid of this one. We don't need it.
God. So then I had to go back and try to like turn that other sketch into something else, shoot stuff all over again, and punch it out. And it's like such a weird, it's weird because my content, the like God and year stuff has so much to do with people who like died.
Yeah.
And then it feels fucked up. So I try to make it like not that way.
I think it's great. All right.
And so I try. The only one that I didn't make a joke of was like Twitches.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got to make this one real because people are not happy.
Is that a harder muscle to flex when the writing is more on the serious side and not? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was like, because I know people are coming to me because one thing that I do like about it is people come, they'll be like, you make it easier to digest this crazy news.
Right.
Or these crazy things. And so that one was like heavy. Like me and my wife both, like he followed both of us and she lost her mind and was all excited because like they are goals for us.
Right.
And so when we got the news, I was like, damn, that sucks. And then I started seeing everyone else was like hit.
Yep.
And I was like, I have to do this video because everyone's going to wait for it.
Yeah.
But like, it can't be
on the funnier side.
Like I can't do it. So I made like a real one with like one joke at the end to kind of be like, okay, let's not cry.
Yeah.
And it was, and lots of people were like, this was perfect note to make and whatever. But it's hard.
That is such a
way
skill.
Harder.
Yeah.
Way harder.
I think, and you're probably similar too, like probably to my own fault. Like for the more serious situations, like grandma's funeral, I had to make a speech. It was like filled with just one-liner after one-liner. But that's how I digest like, kind of the uglier side of life is all through humor.
Exactly. It's weird because I feel like I was actually listening to Kevin Hart's podcast, Comedy Gold Mines. Not to pub another podcast on your podcast, but I listen to his podcast all the time because I love listening to other comedians' stories.
Yeah.
Because everyone sits back and thinks like, oh, they're famous and like just someone discovered that they were hysterical and made them famous. And it's not how it works for any of them. Like they're on the grind forever. And then finally catch on. It was Niecy Nash was on it. And she basically was talking about how humor for her, the way she used it was because I think it was something with her mom and dad. I don't remember it exactly, but she used to like comfort her mom by just coming over and cracking jokes. She was like, I didn't know how to do anything else. So I just made jokes and then she got happy. And one day she came home and her mom was out of bed and had people over and she was like, come here. Watch. You got to watch. She's going to tell the jokes. You're going to love it. She's great.
Wow.
And so she kept just kind of doing that. And it was a way to process stuff by just like through humor, like to deflect.
Right.
But also like that was how you worked through it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me because I do exactly that.
Yeah. That's the you hear like with Twitch, Robin Williams, like the balancing act is always so fascinating to me. It's like we're in somewhat of a same space, like on the humor side.
Oh yeah.
And I always think it's so fascinating that like this, like say Robin Williams or Twitch, they're making the world so
happy.
And then but I'd be fascinated to like really dig into like the mental health of both of them because it's like you make the world laugh, but then internally
it's like you
nothing.
You're like never know. And that the one thing that like I said this to my wife is like you don't realize like that all that like adulation
Yep.
Doesn't really
Great word.
Doesn't I know?
That was a
vocab word, big guy.
Adulation. Yeah. Is there a silent G in there?
And it rolled off like I say it all the time. It rolled off easy, didn't it?
Wow. I'm not mad. I'm impressed. Okay, that was amazing.
Pretty good.
Wow. Please, back to you.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Oh my God.
So all the adulation, whenever that all that doesn't make you happy. You have to find your own happy within that space, and that's one thing. Like it sounds stupid because we're like social media people, so we're not like famous.
Yeah,
but we're like people know us.
Yeah, yep.
People know us, and so it's like one thing that like I'm shooting to get to that point,
right.
But one thing to make sure of is like I'm still like the same guy when I go hang out with my friends, when I go talk to, my wife, when we're like walking down the street,
right.
or whatever. Like is to remember all that stuff, because I think it's easy to get lost in all these other
100%.
little pockets of things and hustle and grind, and and it can get hard, and I can see where that would kind of eat somebody up a little bit.
That's like you hit it right in the head. That's like the skill set. I think you do a great job of it. There's a ton of other creators that do a great job, but you'll see the ones that, you're right, are air quotes level of fame, which is like, if it's A to Z, we're probably towards the lower third, but you see that area of fame, like, get to people's ego, and then all of a sudden they're like,
so let me ask you something, and this is like no shade to anybody, because anybody who's like putting themselves out there, I respect. Yeah. Because like it isn't easy. Yeah. But there are people, like I've met people, I know people that have like got a little bit of a following, and then sat back and they were like, so, where's my movie deal? Do you see I have 200,000 followers?
They're like a doctor with other plaques behind them.
I know.
See that?
That's 200,000 people that enjoy me. So why aren't you enjoying me yet?
Yeah.
Where's my money?
Yep.
And it doesn't work like that.
100%.
It really doesn't. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier. You got to see the opportunity. Like you did it. You had Dangerously Caffeinated, and then you were like, boom.
Right, exactly.
Let's just make some coffee.
Exactly.
Let's just do it. Let's double down and use this for that.
Yeah.
It's
exactly
like,
right.
It's seeing the opportunity in all of it that then starts separating people.
Right.
Like even just as simple as I blew up on TikTok and none of it was transferring to Instagram. And I was like, these apps, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So I was like, I got to make sure I'm popping off over here. I got to make sure I expand to here.
Right.
I can't leave these other ones out in case TikTok goes the way of Vine.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Then I'm screwed. Yep. And so it's like, and that's where I've made like most of my professional connections is through Instagram.
Yeah.
So like finding a way to do that behind the scenes, being in acting classes that no one knows about, being in writing classes that no one knows about,
right,
and not expecting things to come to me, being like, I do have this following, but when I get to you, the shit's gonna be good,
right?
And I'm gonna make sure it's good, because I don't know how many times I'm gonna have a chance to talk to you,
dude. That 100%.
And that's what it is. Like people don't see the opportunity in all of it sometimes.
Yep. I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in the numbers game, especially you start looking at like your analytics. Even like a year ago when I started really getting serious with, getting like a manager and stuff.
Yeah.
And you look at the analytics, it's so easy to be like, oh, wow. Look, that's a lot of commas, like, but it's so important to stay I love what you said, like just staying unbelievably grounded in it all.
You have to, in a certain way. I have a buddy, and one of my favorite things about him is like, I'll do this. It was when I told him Cedric the Entertainer hit me up, and he loves Cedric, and he was like, yo, that's blah, 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 and he loses his mind, and then he was like, you still ain't shit though. And he tells me all the time. Yep. He's like, you still ain't shit. You get close. Yeah. But you still ain't shit.
Dude, you need friends
and
like that.
I'm like, exactly, bro.
Keep that one close.
Exactly. It's such a crazy thing. And like you were saying, adversely, when numbers are bad. Yeah. Like when you get bad numbers and then being like, I stopped being funny. Yep. Like,
dude, I've seen
it's crazy.
People go off the deep end when things go awry. Like, like I always play the fine game of you see the applauses that people give you, but you're not like taking it in. And same with like the booze when people are like, oh, you suck, lame.
Yeah.
No, I see it all, but I don't like internalize any of it, you know?
Yeah.
And in there is this like very peaceful world, you know?
Yeah.
And if you can stay, which is challenging on both sides, if you can stay there, probably more challenging when things are going bad.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're like, it's always a constant battle too, but when things go awry, you're like, well, that's it. Pack my bags.
Yeah. Well,
they've got.
we did it, I guess.
Exactly.
That's the end.
I could always just say, I dipped my toe in it and didn't like it. I could tell people that forever. Just erase the account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, so one of the things that happened to me is I booked a couple of short films, like
Yep.
roles in short films. And then it was like in August and it was like a 3-week period. So I couldn't do a bunch of content.
Yeah.
And then all the analytics kind of suffered from it. So then it was like every video, even though I thought it was a banger,
Yeah.
it was getting no views or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, did I do this and stop being like good
Right.
at writing these sketches? And so one thing I started doing is I would save like some of the good comments and some of the the nice stuff people
Yeah.
say and be like, hey, like on a bad day, you make me laugh every day. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
And I save them in like a little folder on my phone.
Oh, I love that.
So when stuff is like, when I feel like it's a little hectic, I'll be like, you know what? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because
I
even
love
if
that.
the numbers aren't great, whatever, there's still enough people seeing it that it's giving them something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I like that a lot.
So it's hard though to keep from having your head blow up and then
100%.
also like blow up also from
Internally.
from being like, oh, it isn't working.
Yeah. Yep.
It's such a grind, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
It is. It's fun.
It's funsies.
I've been seeing you did a roast recently and you've done some stand-up stuff in the past. Would you ever consider getting more into stand-up?
I would.
Like, is that an area of work you're interested in?
But stand up is the one that the reason I did it the first time I ever did it was because it scares the shit out of me. It's because like I can write a sketch and I can create a world and I know even if the language of the joke doesn't hit,
Right.
I try to add little things in the back. Like I did a Batman sketch once and he was standing in front of the fridge doing like an office confessional. And it wasn't a verbal joke. It wasn't like written in, but I put on the fridge, Superman sucks
Oh, let's
in
go.
the
Yep.
background. So like you might not notice it, you might whatever. So I try to add little things that other people
subliminal,
will catch. So like I can be confident in that. But if you stand up there, it's like immediate feedback and you're like, that was a punchline, guys.
Like, did you not get it? Yeah.
Okay, moving on. What was my next joke?
It's like calling a girl you just met versus texting, Texting, you got all the time in the world to analyze what they said.
Yeah.
How can I respond?
All right,
Whereas on the phone,
Then you're like, yeah.
the clown has no penis. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love your boobs.
Yeah.
No. Personality.
Just throw your phone.
It's awful, but it's like also dope
Yeah.
because then when you get, there's nothing like the live laugh.
Yeah.
Like when you get one live, you're like, I am the funniest man alive.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like I would, but it's a different animal.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
What was that
It's
first time doing
hard.
stand up like? Like when you
My mouth went dry. Full dry. So
Did it
I was
really?
like, pop, 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 pop. Everyone, sorry, excuse me while I spit dust this way and finish this next line.
this is not an acoustical environment
Yeah.
to do stand up.
It was like it went well enough. I wrote some stuff that I thought would hit and it got like some chuckles. And then like some stuff that I didn't think was going to hit got big laughs. And I was like, I don't understand this.
Whole body's like panic, panic,
Yeah.
panic.
Yeah. But when I did the roast was easy because it's like my friend. I knew
Yeah.
the crowd that would be there.
Yeah.
And like what I could do.
Yep.
So I just wrote jokes to those people. It's
Yeah.
different when you just show up somewhere and there's a bunch of people like, make me a bicycle clown. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
do it. Make me laugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a different animal. I was asked that recently, like, would I ever do stand up? I think the same way. Like, I am situationally funny.
Yeah.
Like, if we go out and get drinks,
Yeah.
we're in the game.
You know what you would kill at is improv.
Yeah.
So like all of this not all of this, but the big thing with comedy for me started with when I took improv classes at the Improv Asylum.
Right on Hanover Street there?
Yeah. And I thought the whole time, I thought I was like middle of the road. I thought my class was hysterical.
Really?
I was like, these people are so funny. And I was like, I'm just trying to hold my own.
Yeah.
And then after it, I guess some of them were like, oh, was that the teacher? And they were like, no, he took the class with us. And I was like, people thought I was the teacher. And they're like, yeah, you were hysterical.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, I thought I sucked. And apparently one of the teachers like was telling her friends like it was a year-long thing. 6 months in, she told her sister, she was like, you'll like this guy. Like, he's funny.
my
Like,
God,
you'll like him, whatever. And she approached me after, and she was like, yeah, so-and-so told me. And I was like, whoa.
Wow. What are those? Is it in front of a live audience? I know they do the shows on the weekends or
The
whatever.
grad show is in front of a live audience.
Oh, okay.
So the last class is it's part improv, part sketch. And they
Okay.
teach you how to like basically formulate a sketch. And then you go out and you do like maybe a couple of improv bits.
Right.
And then a couple of sketches and then a couple more improv bits. Then there's an intermission and whatever. And we sold it out. And it's like, it's so dope. I think you would absolutely crush it. Cause you're so like, I'm not as quick on my feet as you are on your feet. You would murder.
I gotta check
improv
that out.
class. You would murder it. And it just like, it even makes you a little quicker and just like kind of makes you more aware of the jokes you're making.
Yeah, right.
And how you're forming them and whatever.
Right.
It's a pretty interesting thing, but it's so dope. Our grad class, when I walked out, I wrote a sketch that opened it. And I was like, word. When I wrote it, I was like, this is going to open the show. This is my goal. So it did. And then stupidly, I like set myself up. It was like I was the ringleader of a social media circus. That was the sketch. And so the lights hit me first in front of a sold out crowd. And I had never done this. And so I was like,
Instant fear.
I walked out. And I remember standing there feeling the crowd, and they're like, welcome to the Improv Asylum, where blah, 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 turn your phones off, and yada, yada, yada.
Like, it's happening, it's
and
happening.
and I'm standing there going, don't shit yourself, don't shit yourself, don't shit yourself, don't shit yourself.
Pull up. Altitude.
Altitude. I was like, this is terrible. And then the light came on, and it's like, this sounds corny every time I say it, but it was like I blacked out, and all of a sudden it was like no one was there.
Really?
And I was just like, let's vibe. And so I talked to my wife after, who's a dancer and performs more regularly at that point than I ever did. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I blacked out, but like, it was like I was watching myself.
Yeah, right.
From outside of my body. It was dope. And then she was like, that's a performer's high. And I was like, I was high?
We did meth there?
What?
Oh my God.
Someone gave me drugs?
Yeah, wow. That state, I wish there was a way to bottle that state.
Bro.
When I think, and I know you'll feel the same way about this. When I think back through like my entire life, and areas I excelled in was always this moment right. I always was kind of the kid who was, believe it or not, more on the shyer side and never wanted to say like I played football growing up. I would never ever be like, oh yeah, well weekend game day, this Saturday, I'm gonna kill it. I would never say that. Yeah, because I didn't want, if I didn't kill it, then to have people be like, oh, you said you would. So I was always super quiet. But before like games or even doing like the weather in high school, like there were certain moments where I was like, oh yeah, this is internally, I was like, this is 1000% about to crush. I wish there was a way to what is that moment? You know what I mean? Like where wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like I got this.
It's the dopest thing. And that was where I was like, I need to be doing comedy.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say mushrooms.
I need to be doing.
I thought you were going to be.
Honey, how many drugs can we get?
Yeah. Why are we not microdosing? Okay. Which is the new big thing. I don't know anything about it, but allegedly it's big.
But it was wild. But you would crush at that.
I got to look into that.
Actually, I don't know why I didn't say this to you before. I feel like you need to do it, and then in a year I need to be sitting front row being like, I
gotta set that up.
It's so dope.
You oddly enough, when I first moved to Boston, I didn't even have furniture.
When did you move to Boston?
It was tail end of 2019.
Oh, so it's your fault.
Yeah. Yeah. I moved and I was like, why is everything falling apart? Why can't we go anywhere?
Stay where it's like when someone goes back back to the past and changes one thing.
yeah, exactly.
And everything goes to shit. Like you moved and God was like, no.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's spot on.
God damn it.
A small town, like growing up, like, then moving to Boston. I was like, this will be fun. I'm in a truck. Like, damn near like a truck with like a wagon behind it, Everything shuts down. I remember we held, I forget why this even came about, but I had you and probably like 4 or 5 other creators over my apartment. And I remember that's what like really sparked everything. I was like, oh, there are like-minded people that like really love going, because you get around a lot of my friends, oddly enough, are very more on the analytical side and not on the let's go to Peru and book nothing, and like they want everything mapped out. But it was really refreshing being around yourself and others that were like, oh no, this is a space we play in. We can profit here. Like this is viable, for a career path.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to knock people, but I get the sense that there are some people that will like look at me and be like, I don't understand what it is you do.
100%.
Like I don't get it.
Yep.
Like, and I think it was actually the kid I roasted, JD.
Yeah.
His mom said something to me that was like brilliant. And she was like, it's hard for people to process that what they're digesting as entertainment, it's hard for them to process you working at it. Because for them, it's something that is an escape.
Right.
Like they get to leave work and the stress of life in the world and come to your entertainment and enjoy it, and that is their freedom.
Right.
But you're working to make that for them, and I think it's hard for some people to like process that one out.
I never thought of it. That's a great way. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah,
they're coming there to.
It was.
Some of the best things that have ever been said to me has come from the audience,
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
Like you were referring to it earlier, but like all things dangerously caffeinated. But even like when people ask you, I'm curious your answer to this, because mine has always come from what other folks say about me.
Yeah.
When you introduce yourself to someone, maybe it's a friend's parents or something who like, they get it, but don't what do you say? Are you like, oh, I'm a digital creator, or I am a,
So for a while, I was like, if anyone, I did an interview, no knock to Kiss 108. I did an interview on Kiss 108, and they were like, yeah, a TikToker, BMO the person. And I was like, don't call me that.
Yeah.
Don't call me that.
Yeah, it's almost like
because I'm not doing dances.
Yeah,
shit.
right.
Like,
we can't renegade around
no,
here, okay?
No, God, no. So I was like, what do I have people call me? And then like when I was telling people like actor, writer, comedian.
Right.
But then with actor and like comedian, they're like, oh, tell me a joke.
Yeah, on the spot.
Actor, they're like, what are you in? Where have you? Blah, 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 blah. And so I was just like, writer. No one ever asks. Everyone's like, cool. On to the next thing.
Yeah,
they're like, not interested.
Right. Writer's good.
Yeah. So it never really even like specifies.
Yeah.
Maybe they think I'm writing novels.
Right.
Who knows? I'm not.
Writer.
But like,
I almost feel like you might feel the same way when people ask like what we do. It almost feels like you work in the mob, where every time you're answering you're like, oh, I work for the garbage disposal. And then 2 minutes later, what do you do? I work for UPS in the mailroom.
Yeah.
It's very shiny and fun. We sing on Fridays.
Like, you never know. It's such a weird thing, especially because like, I don't know about you, but I'll always feel like if I just say like, yeah, I make like TikTok, I make sketches and put them on the internet, that someone's going to be like, oh.
Loser.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like, you don't know me.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know me.
Sleepless nights in my notepad, figuring things out.
I know. So it's such a weird space to be in, but it's like a fun space to be in. And like the creative mind thing you said, which I was going to say before, I had this dude, I don't know if you follow him, Ben Brainerd. And he does sketches like I do, but he'll do the states. Oh. And so he plays like all the states, all the US states.
Yep.
And me and him, he was like a Celtics fan. And I was like, oh, let's go to a game, because he was doing a stand-up show out here. And so he stayed at my house. And like right before that, I was like running on fumes trying to think of content and sketches. And then like we hung out for a night. We talked about, content stuff, but it wasn't like about that. We were just like chilling, vibing, whatever. And then the next day I just like punched out ideas.
Oh, let's go.
And I said to Sarah, I was like, I don't know like why that happened. Like, why suddenly did I just get a flood? And she was like, because you were around a creative.
Yeah.
Like, even just creatives being around creatives, it kind of gives you that, like, little extra every time I've gone to LA, I come back and I'm like, let's do a million things.
Yeah. Dude, you're so right. You
It's
ever
so
get
weird.
I get this a lot when you're out for just like a very casual night, like for drinks with
Yeah.
someone, and you start talking to them, you almost get that, it feels like spidey senses being released. Like you get like the full body, like goosebumps.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, either someone that we know is haunting us or this great convo
or
we're
we're
unlocking
vibing.
new. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's interesting. Front facing, like when you think outward for next couple years for you, like what's on your radar? What are you looking to get into?
So my mission, first of all, my goal in life now is Quinta Brunson. Like,
Okay.
like literally, she is an angel on earth. And I think Abbott Elementary is one of the funniest, most well-written shows, like, period. And like one example I'll give, and this is just me nerding out, so just bear with me.
Buckle up, everybody.
The first episode of this season, there was something so subtle. It was just like a simple joke of like, she was driving. She was like, I parted my hair different, so I know. And it was like a throwaway joke that just got a chuckle, whatever. And then in order to build the relationship with her and this other teacher, at the end of the episode, no one talks about it. And she maybe like references it in small ways here and there through the episode, but like nothing big, nothing you would even think about. And at the very end, it hits you like a Mack truck, and all the other dude goes is, oh, you parted your hair different. Looks nice. And then they go inside, and I was like, oh,
full circle.
this is brilliant writing. Like
Callback joke.
Like, and so like there was so much good stuff in there. And so my goal is to just, like, I've written a pilot.
Yep.
We've pitched it to a couple people. We got like really awesome feedback.
Oh, let's go.
And so trying to do that, I have this, the producer that I was talking about earlier that hit me up. Me and him sort of like weirdly just became boys.
Oh, let's go.
Like,
that's huge.
So now we're like, we'll talk about stuff outside of like creating things.
Yeah.
Like we just vibe out. And so he found these like articles of like some crazy stuff that happened in New York, like with ice cream trucks or whatever. And he was like, I feel like this is a good feature film and I want you to write it. And I was like, let's go. So like we're trying to develop that, trying to do more acting and whatever. And the goal is to eventually, like, ideally I would love to get my show picked up.
Yep.
And then I wrote it, so I am the star.
Let's go.
So if you want to, listen here, Netflix, if
Here
you
we
want
go.
it, you got to hire this guy as your lead. So don't know what to tell you. But like, I'm shooting for the
love that.
moon, bro. Like,
I can see, I literally.
Why not?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, you know what's funny? I see you hosting some sort of revamp of like Nick at Night, you know? Like some sort of like, I don't know if it's like the Amanda Bynes show, like, but you're Amanda Bynes as BMO, you know, with like different spin-off segments, like a.
you know what I would love is to, like, I wouldn't do it, but I would love to be like the new incarnation of In Living Color. What a show.
Wow.
What a show. And I miss it. So
yeah,
but
I
I would
can totally
love
see that.
Would love it.
Yep.
But I mean, it's all of that, man. And this year I want to write a couple of shorts. So if you're free and you want to,
I'm thought about it. I'm in.
Want to play a guy in a short film, then like hop on in.
Sold.
You know what I mean? Maybe do like a Netflix series. I'm going to throw this out there while I'm sitting here.
Oh, let's go.
I thought of the other day, I don't know a ton of like Boston influencer types.
Yeah.
And I was like, it would kind of be funny to do like 5-minute episodes or 7-minute episodes and do like 5-episode season of like a Boston influencer house. And like, this was my open, okay? So it would be like me in bed and then like I'm just laying there chilling, vibing, deep in my sleep, and you just hear, "Good morning, you bad, beautiful bitch." And you just storm down the hall. I'm like, Kevin, the fuck, Kevin.
This house is a prison.
In like the show, we wouldn't all know each other. We're just like, we were put in this house. And like there would be one manager who like brought us all together and made this house.
Yep.
And so I'm just now realizing this is a part of your content. And so it's us all trying to figure each other out and deal with it, like have a makeup. That like when I'm playing the like lady characters I've created, like they do my makeup now instead. And like all this, like a ton of stuff just to be like stupid stuff we could do and just punch it out like 5 episodes or something. Be like, this is just a bunch of Boston dummies doing stuff.
Love that. Holy hell.
Right? This is a treadmill idea.
Yes, exactly.
Treadmills are key for
That
ideas.
is, our manager's like Corella DeVille with like a long cigarette the whole time. Like we're like, it's like very strict on the brand deals. And like, we're working her out. That's great.
Yeah. Wow. It'd be so like dope. You would just like, and I mean, we could find funding. We'll figure it out.
We can figure it out.
Yeah.
Sponsors?
Hey.
Possibly you. Hello. So, wow.
Just saying, throwing stuff out there.
You're on it. This is what we got to sit down more and jam. You know, that's where we went to a Pats game together and we were like, why don't we do this more? We're like, why do we hang out more?
Also, I think it's hysterical that the coolest experience going to the Pats game ever for me was the game where not a touchdown was scored until the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And like I said to my buddy, it was freezing and it was dope. Everything was awesome. And the Patriots were so cool about everything. And then I'm sitting there and it's freezing for no reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, this is wild because I feel like nobody has left the 40-yard line. Like it was just like boop, boop, boop.
Like, has this game even started yet? What's happening? What's happening over there?
The only thing I remember seeing close to us was a field goal that donged off the post, and I was like, no, come on.
We had to leave. I left early. It was so cold.
Yeah,
like,
you did.
It was great seeing you. We got a bounce.
Well, you guys were cold. Like you guys looked cold.
Dude, no joke. It took us. We were parked right there, like literally the next lot. It maybe took us 40 minutes to get back to the truck, inch by inch, just like. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stairs here to get up there.
So cold.
Yeah.
The end was exciting for that 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was hugging people I didn't know.
yeah.
Like they just rolled up and I was like, hello, Pam. Love you, baby.
Kissing everyone.
Plant one on me.
Yeah.
Pats fans unite. COVID be damned. Let's.
COVID, never heard of it. You know? Jeez,
Never met her.
Kiss my mouth. All right.
We won. Kiss my mouth.
Come on. Oh my God. Where can everyone find you? Let's plug you up here.
Right here. Let's go. BMO the Prince at BMO the Prince on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What's the other one?
MySpace?
TikTok.
It's a banger of an app. Okay. Top 5 music. Creative space. It really is. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been blessed with nothing but royalty this episode. This is a No Limits podcast. None other than BMO the Prince.
Bang, bang.